All right, good morning, garden friends, and welcome to Small Garden Big Bang, a series where we will prove that you don't need a big backyard to create magic. Whether you're working with a patio, a corner lot, or even a post stamp yard, this series will inspire you with ideas from real gardeners who've made every square inch count with intention, creativity, and the love of plants. And what I'd like to do is introduce you to Kathy. Kathy is my master gardener mentor, and I am so thankful that she has allowed me to showcase her garden in this series. So, Kathy, tell us a little bit about your garden journey.
Well, it seems kind of funny to have a master gardener with such a tiny, tiny yard, but we did have a large yard in a different part of town. We moved closer to family. Getting a little bit older, we didn't want to be sloughing 100 bags of mulch, so we opted for something small, which gives us the opportunity to choose the plants we want, not the ones the builder gives us. And we chose some of our favorites. Sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't. But this is our masterpiece. I knew that I wanted to have a Japanese maple. This is a Queen Anne lace, very slow growing because we do have a small lot. But before we attempted to even purchase the lot, I had to ask permission, will the HOA allow me to plant? And the answer was yes, we can plant 25% of our property. So we've made that 25% count.
Okay. Okay, so with the layout of your garden, is it, sun, shade, or is it a combination?
Well, we were so lucky in that we do get a lot of sun, so we get the grassy area. We have to have a certain amount of grassy area, but along this wall is full sun all day long. So we've chosen plants that are sun loving.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
I've
what are
got
some what you got here?
So right here, I didn't want just an ordinary loropetalum. We are from the deep south, and so this one is a jazz hands loropetalum. It is a small shrub, so it fits right here. I wanted flowers. I wanted to see flowers all the time. So I know knockout roses have had a bad reputation, but we opted for the yellow ones
Mm-hmm.
because they are so fragrant. We could be sitting on our back deck and we can just smell the yellow knockout roses.
Now, your laurel petalum, is that what it
Yes,
is?
the
Okay,
loropetalum.
so is it, I'm seeing that burgundy color. Is that something that even in our cooler season, does it keep its leaves? Does it keep its colors?
It does keep its leaves. In the early spring, you're going to get some small pink flowers, just like the normal loropetalum. But towards the end of the season, you're going to start seeing some stripy leaves. So it doesn't look like your traditional loropetalum.
Okay.
So the other thing is we wanted to make sure that we had something for the butterflies. So I have my butterfly bushes mixed in here,
Okay.
and we like to keep them small. We don't want them to overpower anything.
Now, is it small because you keep it trimmed, or is that like what is it, the buddleia that stays small?
We purchased a smaller variety, but I still have to cut it back
Okay.
to keep it small.
Okay.
So it's just starting to bloom right now. In the back, we've got some canna lilies, and those are mango.
Oh, those are beautiful.
I'm not a big fan of the red or the yellow, but when I saw the peachy, it's like, oh, this kind of reminds me of the beach.
Yeah, yeah, and I love the layering, because those cannas will get pretty tall.
Yes. So we were on the Master Gardener tour last year, and I wanted something just as like a backdrop, and that fills in nicely. I do have to cut them back because they will spread and take over everything, so I keep that under control.
Okay.
So, I've just sort of alternated the knockout roses with the butterfly bush, the jazz hands, and as we go down, here is my hydrangea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a ice cream sundae hydrangea.
Ooh.
So, because we have such a small yard, we will put something somewhere, realize this isn't working, so we move it. So this guy has been moved 3 times. This is the spot it likes.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that was stressed in Master Garden class. Right plant, right spot. And you do sometimes
Yes.
have to move things to find that perfect location for them.
I also had difficulty with another hydrangea not blooming, and I talked to the local nursery and they said, move it. Sometimes the roots just like to be disturbed a
Yeah.
little bit. So here are my daylilies. I'm not a fan of the typical yellowish orange.
Yeah.
So I've got some different colors here. This one's the sort of peachy with the ruffled edges.
That is gorgeous.
These were purchased during the COVID season and they were mailed to me.
Oh, wow.
Picked them out of a catalog, so I had something to do. Now, to be on the Master Gardener tour, I needed to have some native plants, so we've got some coneflowers back there. I got some green and gold here, which help to fill in on that slope.
Yeah.
And the gardeners love it because then they don't have to weed.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they won't weed anything that I've planted, but it does help keep the weeds down. Behind it, I've got 2 native azaleas.
Okay.
And this one is going to be the Florida Flame.
Okay.
And next to it is Earl's Gold. So we've got the bright yellow orange and then the yellow next to it.
Nice.
And behind it, we got some ginger lilies.
Oh,
They
okay.
smell wonderful.
Wow. Love your
Wonderful.
arbor. Love it.
Yes, and growing over the arbor, we got our grapevine. When the grad kids come over, it needs to get a little bit older, but when they get older, they'll have something else to pick. We've got a couple of blueberry bushes hidden away, but the birds have seemed to find it.
Okay.
So then we come to the shade part.
Oh, your coral.
This calla lily was a gift from my daughter. It happened to be just in one of those pots, and I put it there. I think it's going to be moved because then it's blocking my gardenia. Gardenia right there. I do have, forget what this is. This is
Tea olive?
tea olive. Thank you very much. Tea olive. This is another native azalea. That is a Robert E. Lee. It is bright orange.
Oh, wow.
Bright orange. Got it at the Master Gardener plant sale. And we got some corabels, some daisies. I like just to have flowers. And we've got flowers that bloom at different times. That plant back there, that's the one you get at Christmas time. And I've had it inside, never, ever, ever bloomed. I said, I'm tired of having this taking up space upstairs. Plopped it in the garden. It is already bloomed once, and it's getting ready. It's got another bud on it. So then we have our agapanthus. I love purple.
Yeah.
So, I've got I've even shared it with my neighbor who is from Australia. And when we were down in New Zealand, we saw these all over the place. And they're like weeds down there. I said, you got to have some agapanthus in your yard.
Okay.
I've got, this is a stargazer lily getting ready to bloom.
Oh, yes. And that has like the white and with the pink inside. Yes.
So one more thing about the corabels. I had a flower that bloomed that was so pretty, and I didn't want to overpower it with anything in a little bouquet. So I clipped a few of the little flowers from that as a backdrop.
Nice. Those, and I love them because of their delicate
Yes.
stems. They are just gorgeous, and they're loving this location.
I got my little gator peeking his head out of there. And so on the corner here, this is a very wet corner. So my elephant ears love it. Love it. So at the end of the summer, or towards the middle of the summer, I'll be cutting that back, and at the end I will thin it out, but it always comes back. So it's great right there by the drain.
Okay.
Got my little pelican. This is another native azalea. It is a candy striper.
Oh, okay.
Pink with a deep pink center and just lovely. All of these azaleas, I'm going to keep them small because, you know, I want them to stay proportionate with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we started with, though, besides the Japanese maple, were these hinoki cypress. I know hinoki cypress grow very slowly, so I wanted to give some separation from the back patio, and so these give us a little bit of privacy, but also doesn't overcrowd anything.
Right, right.
So we got some sedum here,
Oh, I
just
love
for
that
color, and it
carpet.
stays like that all year long.
Yes, yes. Now, what is that climbing?
Oh, that is a clematis,
Okay.
and I've had to kind of guide it a little bit, but yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And all these flowers are blooming at different times.
Yeah.
Azaleas started first, then the clematis, um, amaryllis,
Yes, that's
the
yeah.
amaryllis, then the agapanthus. And so we have our hinoki. This little plant here has a story. I was down visiting family and we saw this plant at a local nursery.
Beautiful.
My daughter and I bought one. Mine died, hers didn't. So I took a clipping and I tried propagating it. That didn't work. It's a certain, I've tried propagating this multiple times. So I contacted Monrovia and they shipped me one.
Oh, nice, nice.
So it is called Buttons and Bows Hydrangea, and I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, it is beautiful.
So this one also we tried in different spots. This is the spot it likes.
Now, does this get like the normal size of the 3 to 4 feet wide and
Yes.
tall? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so another hinoki. Now these, I love hostas, and I have shared these multiple times because they do get overcrowded. But I got some Sum and Substance. I forget what the middle ones are, but this little guy down here, this is my Captain Kirk. And we got it just because of the name.
Okay.
You know, we're Trekkies from way back. So all along this side is going to be our shade plants, and all along the other side is going to be our sun plants.
Okay.
All right. So on the side here, we wanted to make optimum use of everything. This spot always stayed wet. So the more plants you have, the drier it's going to be. So the builder gifted us with some hollies.
Oh, it's
Well, it
beautiful.
totally blocked this walkway, so we canopied it.
Yeah.
And we've gotten more compliments over the shape of that tree, which allowed me to put a raised bed here, which is allowed. And that's where I have my herbs for cooking. Next to it, I have a camellia. So camellia blooms in the wintertime. So like I said, we've got flowers all year long. This is a lavender.
Mm-hmm. Now, it does okay in the shade?
It does okay.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then as we walk here, I've added a Kusa dogwood
Oh, okay.
underneath just a common maple tree. This one also blooms once a year around end of May, beginning of June. And so that's beautiful. These are typical builder shrubs. And tucked behind it, we've got a couple of blueberry bushes.
Okay.
So those also are for the grandkids. When they come over, they can pick the berries.
And you got a lot of evergreens in here that will give you winter interest.
Yes.
You know, so that's always something nice, you know,
Yes.
to have.
And the landscapers, they will come and they will trim all the greenscape because that was original to the property.
Okay.
I didn't add any of that. Another Japanese maple, another Queen Anne lace.
Mm-hmm.
This to me is the cream of the crop when it comes to Japanese maples. Very slow growing. This plant and the other plant, they are 8 years old.
Oh,
And
okay.
you see they're very small, so it perfectly fits with a small garden.
And is this the fact that you have the one in your sun area? It could handle both
It could
shade
handle
and...
both shade and sun.
Okay,
I was
nice.
surprised. I thought they were both shade plants, but no.
Okay. You have a nice variety. Very manicured garden.
And the beautiful part about it is it doesn't take a lot of work.
Yeah.
What I've planted takes very little trimming. May have a few little weeds, but with the mulch, we keep it down. So I'm not into heavy lifting at my age, so this is perfect.
Yeah, and and that's part of the reason why I wanted to be able to do this series, because, you go on YouTube and you see individuals with the big, beautiful gardens and what have you, and everybody does not end up having tons of acreage, but you can still have a beautiful back or front yard that, like you said, is manageable,
Yes.
For you to enjoy.
And like I said, we chose the plants we wanted, not just fillers. Every plant was chosen for a particular reason.
Okay, good.
We're one of the few properties that's lucky enough to have a little patch of garden in the front. And so a couple of years ago, I planted this purple salvia, and the butterflies absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my red, white, and blue garden.
Okay.
So that's my blue, and I thought, well, the blue salvia did so well, let me get some red and then a little bit of white.
And that white is candy tough, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you got some larapi in here, and that's the one thing in regards to gardening, the ability to mix and match, find things that require the same, whether it's fertilizing, water, sun, shade, in order to create those gardens, like you said, that are low maintenance,
Yes.
but provide so much beauty.
This liriope I actually stole from what was given to us, because it does overcrowd.
Uh-huh.
And so I wanted a little bit to frame my garden here. So there's a few over here, a few over here, and then what I want in the middle.
Okay, nice. And then I see you accent your entranceway with some pots.
Yes. And this is always whatever I feel like. This one, this is left over from last year. It's just a little spike plant. This one is firecracker.
Oh, okay. It's pretty.
Loves the sun. Something, let's see, we have our thriller, spiller, and filler.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my favorite plant. This is a plumosa fern, which I also gave to you.
Yes, and mine is doing well.
It can take the sun or the shade, but growing up, we would use this in bouquets instead of baby's breath.
Nice.
And so it gives you that nice little delicate. It's a beautiful type of fern. It's related to the asparagus fern, but I like it better.
Okay. All right, Kathy, thank you so much for allowing me to showcase your garden and to see the beautiful way that you have incorporated, plants that move you, that give you that sense of completeness in your garden with the textures, the layers, and the color.
You're quite welcome. I love talking about my garden. I like sharing the beauty. And we're in a neighborhood that has a lot of young homeowners, and they are always at loss as to what do I do with this backyard? I want something.
Yeah.
And I'm always willing to share.
Great, great. And guys, that's the beauty of us, like I said, doing this series, is to show you that you can create beautiful spaces in your garden. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video. All right, guys, so just remember, it's not the size of the garden, but the size of the joy that it will bring. Stay inspired and keep growing.